Hi guys, this is Yangela's tutorial, C++ tutorial. Um, this is our second tutorial. Now, in this tutorial, we'll be teaching you how to prompt the user, how to request a data from the user and store the data in a variable or a space you created. Then, and maybe use the data. For instance, in this case, in this tutorial, we're talking about this program is a program that displays a sum of two integers. Now, as you know, we already talked about the structure of the C++ and how to output something to the screen. Now, I'll be explaining how to declare a variable. Now here, this part here, we're declaring the variables in this part here, the two variables, which is I num1 and I num2. Now you can declare any name you want. A variable you can declare as long as you don't start with the capital letter. Now my way of declaring variables, I use since you can see they are returned this data type, this data type is an integer. I'm declaring an integer variable, integer variable num1. Now this variable will input, or in this variable I want to store an integer number, not any number but integer number. You cannot store a decimal number like a number with a decimals or a fraction in this variable. You can only store a integer number, which is a whole number. Now again, with the same thing with this too. So this one is the second integer to add this one. Sorry, second integer to add. Now after this declaration, I'm prompting the user. So what happened in this program now? What happened? Sorry. What happened? Let's see what happened. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. Yeah, this program is supposed to be like this. Sorry about that. This program is supposed to be like this. I'm declaring those variables here: int num1, num2, and sum. Now this number here, I want to store a first integer that the user is gonna enter, and this variable I want to store the second integer that the user is gonna enter. Now in the sum here, I want to store the sum of num1 and num2. Now let's go and ask the user to enter the first integer. Now, as I said, if you want to output something to the screen, you use out statement, then those operators. Then if you want to write something to the screen, then you put your double quotation marks, then write the thing that you want to output to the screen. Now in this case, I want to it's going to be printed. What's going to be printed is going to be like enter the first integer, enter first integer. Then the user is gonna be given a chance to enter the integer, and then the integer that the user is gonna enter is gonna be stored in this variable num1. See in this one, yes, this in it reads information from your keyboard, then store the value to the space we created, this num1. So the number that the user is going to enter is going to be stored in this variable. Then again, after that, the user will ask again to enter a second integer. After that, the second integer will be stored in this variable using this cin, because the cin it reads information from your keyboard. Now remember those operators for cin and cout. You see, for cout, the operators are pointing out, and for ce are pointing inwards, like in this direction. For cout is to the left, and for cin is to the right. Now we go ahead and this one here, it's like stating the formula for the sum. Now, because sorry. This line here, it calculates the sum. This line, it calculates the sum. It adds number one, num1, and num2. And then the answer that is gonna be, it is the answer is stored in these variables I sum. The answer is stored in this variable. Then after that, um we're displaying the sum. Now we're saying, okay, the sum is sum. Remember, as I said, if anything is between those two double quotation marks, it will be printed as it is. Now here I'm saying, sorry, this is not how it is supposed to be. Like um this, yeah, supposed to be like this, same as this one. Now this one here, I'm saying, okay, see out sum, I sum, see out the sum. Now the difference between this one and this one is that this one won't be printed as it is like this one, but rather this one will be printed what's inside the variable. Like for instance, if you can assume this to be a box, this, and I'm saying see out the sum, not the box. Remember, it will only show us what's inside the box. If you assume the sum as the sum to be a box, only what's inside will be printed. Let's compile the program and see. Program is compiled successfully. You can see no errors, no warnings. Then you run the program. It should allow us to enter or request us to enter the first integer as we return the enter first integer. Let's say any number, first integer, maybe let's say 12, it's an integer. Then enter the second integer. We enter maybe, uh, uh, sorry, what did I do? Oh, press enter. Now let's run the program again. Now we press 10, maybe it's an integer. Then we press 12, maybe. Then you can see the sum. As you know, 10 plus 12 is 22. Then the program executed successfully. The program executed, it says there, the program executed successfully without errors and all. So this is how you write a program for adding two numbers. You can name your variables any way you want, but there must be no spaces between your variable. For instance, you cannot say you cannot say num1 like this. No, that's not acceptable. You must write it like this if you want, or you can just write it like this any way you want, as long as you don't have um, the space between your variable names. And you must not use those keywords, the C++ keywords, to name your variables, otherwise you will run into some errors. Now this is how you write a program to add two numbers. Then I think that's it for this tutorial. Please don't forget to like the videos and subscribe. Click on the notification bell, and if you have answers, please leave a comment. See you in the next tutorial.